Hi, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We are finishing up the Pacific today. This is episode 10 titled Home, which, we mentioned the title in the last one, and what we are anticipating here is that the majority of this episode is gonna take place in the States.
Probably in the States, maybe a little bit in Japan to show off the Japanese surrender. But I'm not expecting that much fighting this time.
No.
Maybe some more romantic stuff, which I probably won't comment on. From a historical point of view, it matters sometimes, but rarely in cases like this.
Yeah, and we got a lot of fighting in the last one. Definitely, that was, I would say, the toughest fighting wise in this series. Just apart from the episode where we lost Agag. I think those two were definitely the toughest to watch when it came to that. But before we start the episode, you do have a few words.
Well, I just want to say again, thank you. It's been good for me to do this with my son, and I had hoped the subscriptions would have gone up, patrons and PayPals would have exploded. So by the end of this year, I could retire and just live on Sonny's money. But no, jokes aside, it's been good for me to try this out. It's out of my comfort zone, and you guys been nice to me. I really enjoyed it, and during this little ride here for me, it's been a good experience to read all the comments and dive a little bit into history myself as well. So I've enjoyed it very much, and thank you for helping out there.
Mm-hmm. And we are planning on doing some more, the two of us. We mentioned if we're going to stay, in World War II and especially the Pacific. We did mention the movies Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, the movies from Clint Eastwood, that we may end up watching those at some point. A lot of you have been asking us to do some more, like even if it's going to be a series or a movie. I am also planning on doing an interview with my father in a video where we can kind of talk about what we saw in this series, and then maybe you guys have some questions for my father.
Odd stuff. I'll give a little of myself, and I'll be the guinea pig for this, and just let us know what you want to know. I probably won't answer, but you can ask.
Yeah, you can definitely ask. I have some things that I've been working on, and I want to do like a weekly live stream, like a show where I talk about news and I bring in guests and I interview people. I don't think it's going to be a part of that. It might be just its own thing where we do a video and then I'll put up a post and then you guys can post some questions there for my father, and then I can ask them to him and we'll see if he answers or not. But yeah, either way, that's what we're thinking at the moment, but we will let you guys know as soon as we have made a decision. I will put up an update. Just remember to keep an eye on the community page here on YouTube, and then you will know what's up. But with that out of the way, I think we're ready to jump into this episode, this last episode of the Pacific. And then, of course, we're going to talk about it afterwards.
Let's see where it takes us.
Yes, let's do that. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though we are wrapping that up very, very soon. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And here we go. Okay, yep.
That's the day of Japanese surrender.
Mm-hmm.
As he thought of all they had done together and all they had gone through.
The Japs surrendered.
And there we go, Gil.
The war's over.
He thought maybe he was gonna go back at some point?
Maybe.
Okay, we do get to see, yeah.
Can't believe it's over, huh? Sort of, what do you do now?
I'll show you what I'm doing now. Our first official act of peacetime. Snaff.
Must be a good feeling. At the same time, when do I get home? When do I see my family again and all that?
What's gonna happen?
Just giving us some warning, a phone call or telegram or something.
We'll come home to the storage locker.
Yeah.
Let's give him a moment.
Must really be weird coming home after everything that happened. Just living a whole another life. I'm guessing that's what it feels like.
All the peace and quiet and luxury of everyday life is sometimes overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mariel Shelton. How about I take you to the back of the train? You can show me your caboose.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I tell you?
Right, yeah, social skills are lacking.
1946, the party's all over. Not as much as a complimentary beer. Somebody had to stay and clean up after the war. I suppose I'm gonna have to get a job too.
Doing what?
Did it give a date for this train ride?
No, not really. They're saying it's 1946 all of a sudden, then yeah, they stayed there a while.
Yeah.
You boys watch. I'm gonna get that girl.
You've been saying that about every girl since San Diego.
Oh.
Miss Bazelon?
Yeah.
Or Mrs. Bazelon?
No, I'm not here for...
John's insurance money is gonna help you out, right, Lena?
Actually, he never signed the papers.
Never signed? It's $10,000 bucks.
It's okay. I'm all right.
It's not the most important thing.
No.
Just money.
It's always awkward to meet the parents, but this is
something
extra.
Yeah, something
Even
else
more
entirely.
so.
Yeah.
I thought you should have this.
It's just, yeah. Not even awkward, it's just straight up sad.
Yeah.
Melbourne's a hell of a long way, Bergie. It'll take Florence a while to get from Australia to here.
If she's coming at all.
Thanks for doing all you did to keep us from getting our full head shut off.
You're good Marines.
It's coming home to the family while departing from the family.
Yeah, exactly. Saying goodbye to your brothers while getting back to your family. That must be hard as well. People you've been side by side with for years, fighting in the mud.
You get a special bond.
We're almighty proud of you. Proud of all you soldiers.
I was a Marine. Prose just lays there like spilled ink on newsprint. You need to send him to Obits and give me his desk.
I do.
For the sake of the paper.
$10 a week raise will do it.
I will give you 7.
I'd have taken 5.
Very sure of himself.
Yeah. Very gung-ho about it.
Can even get into that mindset, writing about sports after coming back.
Probably harder than he thought it would be. And then there's the girl thing.
Yeah. He did find a girl in Melbourne, and then he was writing someone when first he went to the Pacific.
You are spying on Vera Keller.
Did you come up here for a reason?
To get you to stop banging on that typewriter.
It's called working.
Not sitting there like that, it isn't.
So Vera, was she the one he was talking to?
Can't remember.
Yeah. Sorry.
Your dress blues. You've never even worn them. I think you would have looked nice in them.
Don't you only wear it for special occasions?
Yeah, but I guess you could do it for your mother. I don't know. It's kind of real snafu, like just to walk out.
Yeah, I think it's also because it's too hard to say goodbye. I do believe he really became fond of
Yeah.
Eugene.
We did dress up.
Lived across the street from you for the last 20 years.
Of course.
Not very attentive. If you can live there for 20 years.
Yeah.
She's
Come on.
Didn't notice.
Bob Leckie.
Yeah, okay, that was the one who was.
You're
talking to in
back.
The first one.
I have a date tonight. When the doorbell rang, I thought you were him.
Yep, she's already dating somebody.
There he is.
Lieutenant, congratulations. Too bad you missed the whole show.
Oh, he didn't even.
How about another time? Maybe tomorrow night.
Obviously, I've been wasting a lot of gasoline.
No. Screw that guy anyway.
Apparently tonight's open as well.
Looks like I am free for dinner tonight.
Yeah. All he could think about was gasoline. Then yeah, that's not the guy for you.
3 years ago, in a miserable part of the Pacific, I was laying in the mud dreaming about a moment like this with you.
You get right to it, don't you?
Mr. Romantic.
You know, I wrote you a lot of letters while I was over there.
You did. I didn't get any.
Oh, she didn't get any
never
of
sent
them.
'em.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I didn't think I was gonna make it, so it didn't matter if I sent them or not.
Can I read them now?
I don't have them anymore. Rain on Cape Gloucester erased every word.
What were they like, these letters?
Best stuff I ever wrote.
You should write a book. Oh. It's been a long ass train ride.
You gonna take this from me or what?
What's with the MacArthur bit? The Mammy Oakham? Hop out of the sailor?
Well, like everybody else in Mobile, I was in love with Mary Houston.
That's too bad for you. She's marrying me.
The minute she goes blind.
Well, I asked her. She said yes. So you're just gonna have to deal with it, brother.
Well, what am I gonna hear next? The Martians landed downtown or setting up a hotel?
I want you to be my best man.
Well, hell yes!
I don't know why, but I always like really dug the design of those older cars.
Yeah.
And the boys beyond. Here's a little souvenir that I brought back from Prague.
Hmm.
That's extraordinary.
I ran over and I picked it up.
Stop, no.
Shit, that must be really hard.
He was aware of it before
Yes.
he shipped out, so it's nice of him to be there.
Yeah. Even though it really must hurt hearing your son going through that, knowing what it means and what he experienced. And he did say that was the thing he was most afraid of, was, looking into his eyes and seeing that empty stare.
Yeah.
Top of the morning to you.
You're gonna pass on the OOM ball?
No. I don't believe I will ever put on a uniform again.
Not a lick of sense in you.
Well, it's his choice. Sure, he doesn't mean it in any disrespectful way, at least.
No, just he's done with it, I think.
I was in a mortar squad.
Okay. Did you do any accounting?
No, miss.
Any journalism?
None at all.
Did a lot of
Any
fighting.
engineering, technical skills?
They taught me how to kill chaps. I got pretty damn good at it.
Damn, yeah. That'll make you feel a little bit worthless in a way. Like,
Thought you could use a punch properly spiked.
that's a good friend.
Mary catches us, she'll have me back inside dancing all night.
That's why I'm still a bachelor. I don't dance until Eugene Sledge wants to dance. I mean, what the hell are we doing here? Why did I end up back here when all those other fellas did?
Yeah. Survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
I thought that. But you just gotta pull yourself out of bed in the morning and get on with the day. You do that enough times in a row, you forget some things. For a while, anyway.
Sid!
Nick Phillips.
Yeah,
Yep.
You get back in here and dance with a woman who loves you?
I'm coming, boss lady.
Is that creamed spinach?
The waves are collected by a receiver shot through an electron gun onto a vacuum screen.
Why cream the spinach?
I think
He does not want that freaking spinach.
Deliver us from evil. Amen.
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 Still painting him as someone who's not that religious anymore. Even though we know that's not the case, apparently.
I thought we'd start at what's left that old fence down by the creek.
Are you gonna shoot the fence?
No, it takes him out hunting, and then
Okay. Is that really the best thing you could be doing? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
fishing and hunting is actually quite nice. So,
Yeah. I was just
Alone time.
only because of the gun, holding the gun again, and the fact that he didn't want to wear the uniform. So maybe the gun would give him the same sense of no. But
No, they are hunting. They're not hunting.
no,
Hunting is like
yeah.
we get whiskey and drive around.
Yeah. But it's still a weapon.
I can't.
It's all right. You don't have to apologize to me, Eugene.
I reckon the dove population's going to be mighty happy this morning.
It's a good thing he has a father like that.
Yeah.
My plan is to do nothing for a while.
How long is a while, Eugene?
Leave him alone, Mary Frank.
The boy is idle, Edward.
He is not a boy.
Well, he's acting like one.
Mary Frank, you have no idea what men like him have been through.
Yeah, well, as expected.
Yeah.
Very slow episode.
Yeah, but it showed very well how, there he is.
Yeah.
PhD in biology, then spent a career training at the University of Montevallo. Teaching, sorry. Throughout the war, Eugene eventually wrote his memoir with the old breed at Peleliu in Okinawa. Yeah.
He did marry her.
40 books. Whoa. Wow. Every year.
Yeah.
Ugh, on her birthday. Fuck. Whoa. Huh. Aw. He survived his wounds as well.
Yeah.
Professional golfer, huh? Justy.
Not much action in this, but it's interesting to read about that.
Yeah. He did marry her. Awesome. And they still, maybe not to this day, but. And there we go. That was the end.
That was it for that one, yeah.
Yep, that's all, folks.
And it was, as expected, a pretty slow episode.
Yeah.
But there's a lot about the homecoming and looking at the pictures of the young guys at the end here, it reminds you that they went out as young boys going to war and they came back as men with scars on the soul and trying to fit in.
Very much so. And I think that's why they gave us this episode in the end to show us the homecoming as well and how they were dealing with everything that they went through mentally and how it is to get back into, what is life back home and social protocols and getting a job and getting married, all of that stuff. Is because that's a big theme of this series is like, how did it really affect these people who went to war? As you said, like these young boys or young men who went into war and then came out the other side, totally changed, totally different, with scars on their soul and their bodies. That
and it takes time to get back into normal life once you get home. I mean, if you come home, if you go out a married person and come home again, then your wife will have found a way to live without you, and you have to sort of fit in again and find your place again.
Yeah.
So it takes quite a while to get through that when you get back. And even though you have several postings abroad and then come back, I mean, going to war is still different. And when you come back changed a bit, and you have to find each other once more, and maybe even go out in the. You saw they went hunting, and when he was out there in nature, it's like that was the time to sort of break down or feel bad about it. So there's very what do you call it? Nourishing for the soul to be out in nature. It's a therapeutic to just walk around in the forest. And you also see today that some of the veterans coming back, they actually need some time going camping or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Just taking some time before they totally integrate themselves back into society. Because it is a lot, and it is very different from what they just experienced. And yeah, as you said, Eugene, he got to that point in the forest and walking through there, and I don't know if the gun in his hand had anything to do with it as a reminder, but either way, it hit him right there. And I just want to reiterate once again that he very lucky to have a father like that who understands even more so than the mother that he's gonna need some time. Like just leave him be, and what he went through, we will never ever understand. Like we won't be able to put ourselves in his place 100%, and we just need to give him some space. And I thought that was very nice, and I'm sure not everybody, far from everybody who came back from the war, had people around them who were that understanding of their situation. Like far from it. I could imagine other fathers maybe being more rough with their kid once they came back and be
do
like,
something. How long time do you need to
exactly,
for this?
Snap out of it, stop crying, stop whatever, you're a man, don't do this, don't do that, and thankfully we have gotten way better at that through time, talking about it.
I couldn't help thinking about the stand-up comedy about the men's brain versus women's brain, when she said the boy's idol. There's nothing a woman hates more than a man doing nothing. So it was just a fun thought. But, But it was good to see that his father handled him the way he did, and said, "Well, take your time, get over it," and still trying to sort of be supportive along the way.
And don't ever apologize to me for breaking down and crying. Don't ever do that.
The scene where he went to the veterans desk to get a job.
Oh yeah.
What's your skill set? Exactly what you taught me. I'm good at killing people.
Yes. It's not my fault that I don't come back from the war with accounting skills or whatever. Like, sure, there were some people who didn't fight the way that he did, and they maybe acquired some different skills, or they were just behind a desk for the majority of the war, and then they will have an easier time integrating back into society. But someone like Eugene, who was trained to do one thing.
Also, you need to see they've been away for 4 or 5 years or so. And the point they're at their education is just like, if you ask me how good am I at singing, I sing like a 10-year-old kid, but that's about when I stopped training.
For singing, or how good are you at drawing? Like, I draw the same way I did when I was a kid, because I didn't develop those skills any further.
No, so you have to go back to where you sort of left off, and then with the education as well, do that stuff. From a historical point of view, I would expect to see some of the celebration right after the Japanese surrender, because there was a party going on in the States for about 2 days straight, where people were having a good time. Because they signed the surrender.
Yes.
And well, what else is that to say historical? Well, the Marines, they were about, by the end of the war, there were around 500,000 Marines, which is a lot, battle hardened, ready to fight, and got disbanded more or less afterwards, down to 150, 170,000, which is a lot that was sent home or into the normal day-to-day life. And so it's a lot of people coming out there with killing skill sets that we need to train to do something else.
Yes, it is a difficult situation, definitely. And it's
And that's just the Marines. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot of other Army, Navy, Air Force.
yeah, we
The
did
same.
get to see some of the soldiers who went to Europe as well in this one, and a Nazi flag and everything, and then also the guy who Vera was dating at first before she started dating Lecky. He didn't even go to the
No,
war.
just
Like he just graduated and just became a lieutenant, but he never saw any action. So as Lecky
well, the school
said,
went
yeah,
on, and he graduated from West Point. He was ready to do his part probably, but the war ended, which is a good thing. So
yeah, good for him, definitely.
and there was a lot of postings around the world because they still have garrisons out there.
Yeah.
So it made sense to keep on making soldiers. It's very easy to disband a unit, and it takes a little while to rebuild it. So
yeah,
it makes sense to keep a certain amount of soldiers, airmen, marines, whatever, ready.
Yes.
On the go.
Exactly. But yeah, you said it. Like this episode was slower, definitely, and we didn't get to see, a lot from how things got wrapped up in the Pacific and the big 2-day party, as you said, in the States when they surrendered, and then they just focused mostly on, what I also said was a big theme in this series, and that is the individuals and how they experience everything and then coming home. So there's a lot of diving into the mental aspects of things here.
Yeah, from a historical point of view, not much to say about this episode.
No, but it makes sense, in the context of how they crafted this series, like narratively and everything. It's a good way to end it.
And again, I would say the actors, they did a good job at showing the faces of the people just returning. We had the episode where they were passing each other, incoming, outgoing. The face of someone given up, more or less, or someone returning home and seeing that the world is not really what he expected, or fighting with his inner devils and stuff like that. So the acting was quite good at this, I think.
Oh yeah.
At the end, when you saw the faces of the real people, they casted it pretty well, I think.
Yeah, pretty well. So some closer than others, but it's not always about just looking exactly like the person you're playing. It's the acting as well. It's not just the looks. But yeah, all in all, a good last episode, a good series, really good. Like I'm so happy that we got to watch this and together, so that I could get all of the knowledge from you as well about the Second World War and the Pacific, which I wouldn't have gotten if I had just watched this by myself.
And as I said again, this is out of my comfort zone, in front of a camera talking, but I started off with one thing in mind, just to do something out of my comfort zone, and during this, with all the comments and all the stuff below, I got more and more into just listening to the audiobooks, driving, commuting to and from work, and hearing a little bit more about the whole Pacific campaign, a little bit more about the whole political things about it. I really enjoyed this ride with you, Sonny, and with all you guys out there as well, with all your comments. And I hope we can do something else. I like to have the historical point of view on it. Then I can hear some good stories as well, read some good stories in the comments as well. I'm probably not that much into going up to modern day time, because there's so much getting offended from different things. And historically, it takes a little time to sort of marinate before you get the different sides of the story itself. I mean, the history is written by the winners, as always, but after a while it marinates and we dive into it, and we kind of have a good footage and stuff like that, and try to interpret it from the other point of view. So I'm more into like the Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, which are two different points of view on the same battle.
Yes, and that's what I find very interesting as well. If we're going to dive into those, and just echoing what you said, staying more or less in the Second World War, maybe first as well, and not going all the way up to modern times, because it is it's easier to look
some
back
of it
like
gets
historical.
too close to home, or more or less, and I might be opinionated about it from personal point of views and stuff like that. So
yes,
I would probably prefer to go back in history, or Cold War, Korean War, stuff like that. I like that.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna look into that. Definitely something that we can watch together and talk about. Also, like if something pops up, that has something to do with Star Wars, like that's also a thing that we have in common. Like we love Star Wars, both of us, and it is because of my father that I am even into Star Wars, because you introduced me to it way back when. So yeah, if something pops up, then definitely we're gonna do some more videos together. That's for sure.
But all in all, thank you guys out there for all your comments and small stories, and for being nice. I really enjoy that, and I hope that can continue on some kind of videos and stuff like that in the future. And to you, thank you, Sonny.
But that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of The Pacific, the entire series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you as soon as possible. Bye.